Every morning, before the world begins asking for your attention, there is a quiet moment that belongs only to you. In that moment, your mind is soft, your heart is open, and the direction of your entire day has not yet been decided. Most people rush through it without awareness. They reach for their phone before they reach for themselves. They fill their minds with noise before they choose their own thoughts. But your morning is more powerful than you realize. The first words you speak are not just sounds. They become instructions for your mind. They influence how you see challenges, how you respond to pressure, and how much peace you carry throughout the day. Strength does not begin in the muscles. It begins in the conversations you have with yourself when no one else is listening. If you want confidence, discipline, and inner peace, then your mornings must become intentional. You do not need complicated routines or endless motivation. You only need a few honest words repeated with complete conviction. Today, we will explore 5 powerful things you should tell yourself every morning. These are not empty affirmations. They are reminders that awaken the strength already living inside you. Listen carefully, reflect deeply, and allow these words to become part of who you are. Every morning, you stand before a choice that quietly shapes the rest of your day. It is rarely a dramatic decision. More often, it is found in the smallest moments, whether to get out of bed when the alarm rings, whether to train your body instead of remaining comfortable, whether to begin the work that matters instead of delaying it once again. These simple choices seem insignificant on their own, yet they become the foundation of your character. A life is not built by one extraordinary act. It is built by ordinary decisions repeated with consistency. Comfort will always invite you to stay where you are. It whispers that tomorrow will be a better time to begin, that one more excuse is harmless, that rest is always deserved before effort. But comfort asks for very little while taking away so much. It slowly steals your confidence, because every promise you break to yourself weakens the trust you have in your own mind. Discipline, on the other hand, may feel difficult at first, but it gives back far more than it asks. It strengthens your confidence, because each disciplined action becomes proof that your words and your actions are aligned. Do not wait until you feel motivated. Motivation rises and falls like the weather. Some mornings it arrives with energy, and other mornings it disappears without warning. If your life depends on motivation, then your progress will always be uncertain. Discipline creates stability because it allows you to act regardless of how you feel. It teaches you that your emotions are visitors, but your principles remain. When you choose discipline over comfort, you are not punishing yourself. You are investing in a stronger version of who you are becoming. Every completed task, every healthy habit, every difficult conversation, and every promise kept becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. These actions may not bring immediate rewards, but they create something far more valuable than quick satisfaction. They build self-respect. Understand that discipline is not about forcing yourself to suffer. It is about remembering what truly matters when temporary pleasure tries to distract you. The person who masters small habits will eventually master greater challenges. Waking up on time, keeping your commitments, speaking with honesty, practicing patience, and continuing your work even when no one is watching. These are quiet victories that shape an extraordinary life. There will always be reasons to delay, to quit, or to choose what is easy. The world offers endless distractions that promise happiness without effort. Yet lasting peace is never found in avoiding difficulty. It is found in knowing that you faced your responsibilities with courage and integrity. At the end of the day, the greatest reward is not what you achieved, but the person you became while achieving it. So before your day truly begins, remind yourself of one simple truth. Today, comfort will make its offer, but you do not have to accept it. Choose the path that demands your best. Each disciplined decision is a quiet declaration that your future is more important than your millennials. Over time, those quiet declarations become an unshakable life of strength, purpose, and inner freedom. Before the demands of the day begin to pull your attention in every direction, remind yourself that your greatest strength is not found in controlling the world around you. It is found in mastering the world within you. There will always be unexpected events, difficult conversations, disappointments. You cannot prevent every storm from arriving, but you can decide whether the storm enters your mind. A calm mind is not created because life becomes easier. It is created because you learn not to surrender your peace to every passing circumstance. Most people believe that peace comes after their problems disappear. They tell themselves, when this challenge is over, then I will be calm. But another challenge always follows. If your peace depends on perfect conditions, then you will spend your life chasing something that never truly arrives. Real calmness is developed in the middle of uncertainty. It is the ability to pause before reacting, to breathe before speaking. And to think clearly when emotions are urging you. When someone criticizes you, you have a choice. You can allow their words to control your emotions, or you can listen with awareness and respond with wisdom. When plans fall apart, you can become frustrated, or you can adapt without losing your balance. Every situation offers these two paths. The difference is not the event itself, but the state of your mind. A restless mind magnifies every problem. It creates fear before anything has happened, and imagines obstacles larger than they truly are. A calm mind, however, sees opportunities where others see only setbacks. It notices solutions because it is not blinded by panic. This is why inner stillness is such a powerful form of strength. It allows you to make decisions based on clarity rather than emotion. Do not mistake calmness for weakness. Remaining composed in difficult moments requires far more courage than reacting with anger or frustration. Anyone can lose control when life becomes uncomfortable. It takes real discipline to remain steady, to speak with patience, and to act with intention, even when everything around you feels uncertain. Your ability to stay calm is a reflection of your ability to govern yourself. Each morning, Remind yourself that you do not need to carry yesterday's worries into today. The mistakes of the past cannot be changed, and the future has not yet arrived. Your power exists only in this present moment. The more fully you live in the present, the less room there is for unnecessary fear and anxiety. Let your attention rest on what you can do now instead of what you cannot control. As the day unfolds, there will be moments that invite you to lose your balance. When they come, return to your breath, return to your awareness, and remember that no external event has the authority to define your inner state unless you give it permission. Protect your peace as carefully as you would protect something priceless, because it is. A calm mind is not simply a pleasant feeling. It is the foundation of wise decisions, meaningful relationships, and lasting strength. When you begin each morning by choosing inner stillness, you carry a quiet power that no challenge can easily shake. Each morning, remind yourself of a truth that many people spend years avoiding. Your life is your responsibility. This is not a burden meant to weigh you down. It is a source of freedom. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to change your circumstances, rescue you, or give you permission to become the person you want to be, you reclaim your power. No matter what has happened in your past, you still have the ability to choose your response today. That choice is where transformation begins. It is easy to point to difficult circumstances, unfair treatment, or missed opportunities as reasons for staying where you are. Everyone faces obstacles that they did not choose. Some carry heavier burdens than others. While you may not be responsible for everything that has happened to you, you are responsible for deciding what happens next. Holding on to blame may feel justified, but it keeps your attention fixed on what cannot be changed. Taking responsibility shifts your focus toward what can be improved. When you accept responsibility, you stop asking, "Who is at fault?" and begin asking, "What can I do now?" That single question changes everything. It turns problems into opportunities for growth and setbacks into lessons. Instead of feeling powerless, you begin searching for actions that move you forward, even if they are small. Progress is rarely made through dramatic changes. It is built through consistent, intentional steps taken day after day. Responsibility also means being honest with yourself. It means recognizing your habits without making excuses for them. If you waste time, admit it. If fear is holding you back, face it. If you have made mistakes, learn from them instead of hiding from them. Honesty is not about criticizing yourself. It is about seeing yourself clearly. Only when you acknowledge where you truly stand can you begin moving toward where you want to be. Many people wait for confidence before taking action, believing that certainty will arrive first. But confidence grows through responsibility. Every promise you keep to yourself, every commitment you honor, and every challenge you face strengthens your belief in your own abilities. You begin to trust yourself because your actions consistently match your intentions. That trust becomes a quiet confidence that cannot be taken away by temporary failures or outside opinions. There will always be things beyond your control. You cannot control the weather, other people's decisions, or unexpected events. But you can control your attitude, your effort, and your willingness to continue. These are the areas where your true strength lives. When you focus your energy on what you can influence instead of what you cannot, life becomes less overwhelming and more purposeful. As you step into each new day, remember that responsibility is not about carrying the weight of the entire world. It is about carrying ownership of your own choices. Every decision you make becomes a vote for the person you are becoming. Choose wisely, speak honestly, act with intention. The life you desire is not built by chance or luck. It is built by the daily decisions you take. Responsibility for one moment at a time. Every challenge that enters your life arrives with a choice. You can see it as an obstacle, that blocks your path, or you can see it as training that prepares you for a stronger future. The event itself may be difficult, painful, or unexpected, but the meaning you give it will determine how it shapes you. If you believe every hardship exists only to make your life more difficult, you will carry resentment wherever you go. But if you begin to see each obstacle as a teacher, even your struggles become valuable. Think about the strongest people you have ever admired. Their strength was not created during peaceful moments when everything was easy. It was forged through disappointment, sacrifice, failure, and persistence. They learned patience because life tested their impatience. They discovered courage because fear stood in their way. They developed wisdom because they made mistakes and chose to learn instead of giving up. Without challenges, those qualities would have remained hidden. When difficulties appear, the mind often asks, "Why is this happening to me?" That question keeps your attention on frustration and self-pity. Instead, ask yourself, what is this experience trying to teach me? This simple shift changes your perspective. Suddenly, every setback contains a lesson. Every mistake becomes feedback. Every delay becomes an opportunity to practice patience. Every failure becomes a chance to grow wiser before trying again. This does not mean you should enjoy suffering or pretend that pain is pleasant. Some experiences will hurt, and some losses will leave deep scars. Acknowledging that pain is part of being human, but suffering becomes even heavier when you believe it has no purpose. When you recognize that difficult seasons are shaping your character, you begin to endure them with greater strength and hope. Growth rarely happens when everything feels comfortable. Comfort encourages you to remain the same because it asks nothing of you. Challenges demand adaptation. They require you to think differently, act with greater discipline, and discover abilities you never knew you possessed. Every obstacle pushes you beyond the limits of who you used to be. If you avoid every difficulty, you also avoid the opportunity to become stronger. There will be mornings when you feel discouraged because progress seems slow or because life has placed another challenge in your path. In those moments, remember that every step forward, no matter how small, is part of your training. Just as a tree grows stronger by withstanding powerful winds, your character grows stronger by facing life's uncertainties with resilience. What feels heavy today may become the very reason you are prepared for tomorrow's immense opportunities. As you move through the day, do not ask for a life without obstacles. Ask for the wisdom to learn from them and the courage to face them with an open heart. Every challenge carries the potential to refine your patience. And strengthen your spirit. One day, you may look back and realize that the moments you once wished had never happened were the very moments that shaped you into the person you were always meant to become. One of the greatest illusions the mind creates is the belief that you must wait until you feel completely ready before taking the first step. It tells you that you need more confidence, more knowledge, more experience, or the perfect opportunity. As long as you believe that message, your dreams remain trapped in the future, always just beyond your reach. But the truth is much simpler. You already have everything you need to begin. You may not have everything you need to finish, but you have enough to start. And starting is what changes everything. Every person who has accomplished something meaningful once stood where you stand now. They did not begin with certainty. They began with questions, doubts, and fears. The difference was not that they felt fearless. The difference was that they refused to let fear make their decisions. They accepted that growth comes through action, not endless preparation. Every step they took taught them something the next step required. Progress revealed what planning alone never could. Do not underestimate the power of a small beginning. A single page written becomes a book over time. One workout becomes a healthier body. One honest conversation can repair a relationship. One disciplined morning can transform the direction of an entire week. Great achievements are rarely created through one extraordinary moment. They are built through ordinary actions repeated with patience and consistency. Your mind may compare your first step to someone else's 1,000th step. It may convince you that you are behind or that you are not talented enough. Comparison steals energy that could be used for improvement. Instead of measuring yourself against others, measure yourself against the person you were yesterday. If you know a little more, act a little wiser, or move a little farther than before, then you are already making progress. Remember that confidence is not something you discover before taking action. Confidence is something you earn by keeping the promises you make to yourself. Every time you act despite uncertainty, you prove that fear does not control your life. Every challenge you face becomes evidence that you are stronger than your doubts. Over time, your confidence grows naturally because it is supported by real experience rather than empty hope. There will never be a perfect moment. Life will always present distractions, responsibilities, and reasons to postpone what matters most. If you wait for ideal conditions, you may spend years waiting while opportunities quietly pass by. The perfect time is not found in the future. It is created by the decision you make in the present. Every meaningful journey begins with a step that feels uncertain. So when you wake each morning, remind yourself that you already possess the ability to learn, adapt, and improve. You do not need permission to begin. You do not need guarantees before taking action. Trust that every effort, no matter how small, is shaping the person you are becoming. The path ahead may not be completely visible, but it does not need to be. See the next step, take it with courage, and allow each new experience to reveal the one that follows. Your future is not waiting for perfection. It is waiting for your willingness to begin. Every morning gives you a new opportunity to become a better version of yourself. You do not need to transform your entire life in a single day. You only need to make sure that when the sun sets, you are wiser, stronger, or kinder than you were when it rose. Real growth is not measured by dramatic changes that happen overnight. It is measured by the quiet improvements that often go unnoticed until, one day, they have completely changed the course of your life. Many people believe success is about reaching a destination, earning recognition, or collecting achievements. While those things may have value, they are not the true measure of a meaningful life. The greatest victory is not over another person. It is over the habits, fears, and limitations that once controlled you. Every day presents countless opportunities to practice patience instead of anger, discipline instead of procrastination, gratitude instead of complaint, and courage instead of fear. These small victories shape your character far more than any outward success ever could. Do not compare your progress to someone else's journey. Every person walks a different path, faces different struggles, and learns different lessons. When you compare yourself to others, you shift your focus away from your own growth. Instead, ask yourself a simple question at the end of each day: did I improve? If the answer is yes, then you are moving in the right direction. If a single step forward may seem small, but repeated every day, it carries you farther than you ever imagined. Some days will feel productive and full of energy. Other days will test your patience and leave you feeling exhausted. Do not let one difficult day convince you that you are failing. Progress is never a straight line. There will be moments of rapid growth and moments that feel slow and uncertain. What matters most is not the speed of your progress, but your commitment to continue. Even when you move slowly, you are still moving forward if you refuse to give up. Every experience can become a lesson if you are willing to reflect on it. Success teaches you what works, while failure teaches you what needs to change. Both are valuable. Instead of judging each day by whether everything went according to plan, judge it by what you learned. A mistake that makes you wiser is not a wasted experience. A challenge that strengthens your patience is not a setback. Every moment holds the potential to refine your character if you approach it with awareness. As the day comes to an end, take a few quiet moments to look back with honesty. Celebrate the promises you kept to yourself. Acknowledge the areas where you fell short without condemning yourself. Then make a simple commitment to do a little better tomorrow. This daily practice of reflection creates lasting transformation because it keeps your attention on continuous improvement rather than impossible perfection. When you wake each morning, remind yourself that life is not a competition against the world. It is a lifelong journey of becoming the highest version of yourself. Every kind word you speak, every disciplined choice you make, every fear you face, and every lesson you embrace moves you one step closer to that goal. Leave today better than you started, not because you became better than you started, not because you became perfect, not because you became perfect, but because you chose to grow. Over weeks, months, and years, those small daily improvements become the foundation of an extraordinary life. built on purpose, resilience, wisdom, and inner peace.